Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 158. Tesla is actually starting to respond to some of all the FUD. And we see GM has not learned anything from last year. And Ford is holding production of its flagship EV. And Toyota is out saying they will ramp up EVs. And Tesla is also holding production to get them ready for its new revamped Tesla Model 3 in China. And Tesla's Giga Berlin factory plant has been put into operation. And Biden has actually been out tweeting about Tesla and Elon Musk. And Ford is investing $3.5 billion in LFP battery plant. And it is now official. Legacy automakers has 12 years left to sell ICE cars in Europe. And Ford has just been out saying they will never catch up to Tesla. All of this and much more on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
We just had the Super Bowl, and as always, there were more EV ads for electric cars that you can't buy. Is it just me, or does that seem like a waste of money? Advertising for something you can't even sell. And we all know what happened last year after all the Super Bowl ads about EVs, right? The search for Tesla skyrocketed, and Tesla saw their orders go vertical as well. So it almost seems like it would be a very bad thing to advertise for EVs at the Super Bowl, as it seems to bring Tesla more customers. And we could see at least the Google search part happen once again. As soon as GM's ads came on, the search for Google shot straight up. And the funny thing is, if you make a great EV, you don't have to advertise. Like Ford's CEO Jim Farley was out saying last year, if you ever see an EV ad from us at the Super Bowl, sell your stock. Because as he has talked about before, and we saw play out last year, as Ford had to stop taking orders for the Mach-E because they had too many pre-orders. They would not be able to go through them all for many years. So that is why he's saying they will never make ads for EVs, because it does not make sense. You don't have to make ads for EVs, they sell themselves. So all GM and the others are trying to do here is to make themselves look good. They don't make these ads to try to sell more EVs, because they are making ads about EVs you can't even get right now, like the Ram that won't even be out for at least 2 years. So they are just trying to fool the public into believing they're green and doing the right thing. By doing so, accidentally pushing more customers into the hands of Tesla. Thank you. And while GM, Kia, Stellantis were busy spending $56 million collectively for combined 3 minutes of Super Bowl ad to spike Tesla sales, Elon Musk only needed to show up at the game and got a few seconds on TV for free. Yes, Elon was actually there, but where was Mary? Oh yeah, she was busy leading. But apparently, Dan O'Don also spent like $7 million to try to show how dangerous Tesla's full self-driving beta software is. But Dr. Know-It-All, together with Dr. Scott Walter, made a great video showing all the BS and lies Dan made in this video. And also showed that the BMW iX test vehicle with Green Hill's autonomous software, so Dan's software, just drove over in the opposite lane and crashed into oncoming traffic. Unfortunately, a 33-year-old man died. So it just blows my mind that this clown of a man is trying to get Tesla's full self-driving beta software off the road, even though its beta test vehicles has never been in a crash that caused injury or death. And Dan's software already have people's life on his consciousness. What a bad human being. As Dr. Know-It-All wrote on Twitter, my car drove me home 3.5 hours in the dark last night. Half of it on back windy roads with no street light. It drove much better than I would have in the dark. Tesla's full self-driving team is and will change the world for the better. amen to that. I will leave a link to Dr. Know-It-All's videos down below so you can check it all out for yourself.
And we should be able to surf the internet without anyone stealing our data, but that is unfortunately not the case. It is very easy to get hacked, as simple as pushing a button really. That is why I always use VPN security, so no hacker or internet provider can see or steal my data. And all my data is encrypted, from the emails I send to the pictures, my banking details, so I can get on with my work and don't have to worry about my online security. And that is why I have partnered up with today's sponsor, Private Internet Access, PIA. They are a world-leading VPN provider, one of the biggest and most trusted VPN provider in the world, as their VPN is 100% open source and their code is public available, so anyone can take a look under the hood and examine just how secure and private their service really is. Almost no other VPN is this transparent, so no wonder they have over 30 million downloads. Private Internet Access is a US-based VPN provider known for one of the biggest server bases in the entire world. Almost 30,000 servers. Speaks for themselves. Private Internet Access hides your IP address, encrypt your internet connection. This way it shields your digital life, which is only getting more and more important, as today we have pretty much everything on our computers and smartphone. And PIA works on any device from computers to smartphones, and it works on all major streaming services. So you have unrestricted access to all your favorite content anywhere in the world, as you can also change your IP address location so the streaming services think you are in a different country just by clicking the country. Very simple, just as setting up the service was probably one of the most simple thing I ever tried, and turning it on even simpler. Yeah, just push the big green button. Plus, a great benefit with PIA is that it is one of the few VPNs that fully support person-to-person file sharing and torrenting. So if you care about your online safety, and you should, I have an amazing deal for you. By using my link down below, you will get 83% discount on Private Internet Access. That is just a little over $2 a month for your online security, making this a no-brainer. Plus, you will also get 4 months for free. So don't wait, sign up for Private Internet Access today, as it is completely risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer service available if you should ever need it. So click the link down below to get the online privacy we all deserve. And a big thanks to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video.
Toyota is out saying they will ramp up their battery electric offerings, but without changing their target. But by focusing on Lexus, its luxury brand, its incoming CEO said Monday, but the company will not divide from a long-held strategy of exploring other technologies. As he said, this is not a fast pivot toward battery EVs, adding that much of the problem stemmed from the communication about Tesla's strategy, to the point that we have been slow at battery EV projects. I think about half of it is a communication issue, he said. He said that the company would stick to previous goal of selling 3.5 million battery electric vehicles by 2030. He said there would be further communication in April about the strategy once his team assumes their roles. So it sounds good that they want to ramp up EVs, and that the coming CEO is out saying that. But I don't think they will go anywhere with their hydrogen cars that the Japanese government is forcing them to do. So they will waste a lot of time and money on that, and they're sticking to their target of 3.5 million EVs, and that probably includes hybrid. So I don't really see how this is ramping up when the numbers are still the same. And they are the last to start in the EV race, really. So they should speed up like crazy, but that does not seem to be happening. But let's see if all of this will change when he actually becomes the CEO on the 1st of April. I hope so, because Sandy Munro seemed to suddenly be very optimistic about Toyota just because of this change of CEO, but I still believe this is just too little, too late, and the rest of this decade is going to be very bloody for Toyota. So they say they will ramp up, but the numbers haven't changed, so we will see what will happen after the 1st of April. If you want to dive deeper into this, I made a whole video about it. I will leave a link to that in the description below. Ford is halting production and shipment of its flagship EV. the Ford F-150 Lightning. It's all-electric version of the best-selling pickup truck in the United States, citing potentially battery issues. The stop shipment order and production halt were issued early last week, Ford spokesperson said. There is a stop build and in-transit stop ship for its F-150 Lightning, Ford's Emma Berg told Teslarati. As a part of our pre-delivery quality inspection, a vehicle displayed a potential battery issue, and we are holding vehicles while we investigate. And it turned out to be because of fire risk in the batteries. That is not a good sign. We have to remember that Ford does use the same kind of pouch cells from LG that GM is using in the Bolt. That has had huge battery issues, and last year all Bolts were recalled, costing GM about $2 billion, so hopefully this is not the same case, but if I was Ford, I would really be scared putting all these pouch cells into their EVs that Elon did warn about. Probability of thermal runaway is dangerously high with large pouch cells. Tesla strongly recommends against their use, but they didn't listen to Elon and used pouch cells anyway. GM had to pay a very high price for that last year, and even have been out admitting that they're going to shift from pouch cells to cylindrical cells, even though they said back in the day the pouch cells were superior. But they had to learn the hard way. But Jim Farley and CFO John Lawler appeared at a Wolf Research conference hosted by analyst Rod Ledge, and Ledge told the pair of Ford's executive that he recently asked 100 investors if they believe traditional automakers could catch Tesla on cost. Could Ford and others build EVs as efficiently as the EV leader? The answer was overwhelming no. 92% of respondents said traditional automakers won't catch Tesla. And Jim Farley agreed, as he said, I'm in the 92 camp. Jim Farley continues to be very open about Tesla and that they will never catch up to Tesla. So now we even know Ford don't think that they will catch up to Tesla. Going to be very fun to hear how the Tesla Qs react to this. Charlie Munger was on CNBC talking about why he would rather invest in BYD than Tesla. Charlie is the vice chairman of a formed holder company Berkshire Hathaway. Charlie Munger is Warren Buffett's right-hand man. So he's a big name in the investor community, but I think he is such a great example of what the mainstream media and the normal Wall Street analysts just don't get when they compare BYD to Tesla. But let's start by looking at what Charlie said when he was asked about why he preferred to invest in BYD over Tesla.
Well, that's easy. Tesla last year reduced its prices in China twice. BYD increased its prices. We're direct competitors. We're so much ahead of BYD. I mean, BYD is so much ahead of Tesla in China. It's like it's almost ridiculous.
So it is great for BYD that they are far ahead in China as an automaker in unit sales, and it's also very true. BYD is much bigger in China than Tesla, but on a global scale, Tesla is still the biggest. But Charlie talks about how Tesla lowered their price twice last year and BYD raised their price twice last year as something that should tell us the whole story. But it doesn't. We could also look at what these two companies actually earn on every car they sold. That would be a very important metric to look at, and as you can see on this chart, Tesla is so much in front, it is ridiculous. So yes, Tesla lowered their prices twice and made a huge price cut, but BYD can't even make a response to that, as it would cost them all of their profits they are making on their cars. And they still have to show how they will do in places like Europe. Right now, I have a hard time seeing anyone buying a BYD Han over a Tesla Model 3, as their starting price in my country are so far apart. You will save about $35,000 if you get a Tesla. So they might be ahead in China, but not anywhere else yet, so they still have to show they can become a global player as Tesla is, and not just a hometown favorite. But more than that, their driver assist features have got very bad reviews, and their safety score with Europe NCAP being only 74% on the driver assist system compared to Tesla's Model Y's 98%. So BYD doesn't have any big leads in full self-driving technology like Tesla has that could potentially earn Tesla billions of dollars on the beta program this year, even without solving full self-driving, just on the beta program. So even though BYD is doing great, they are mostly just a car company, battery company and a chip company. So like Tesla, they are more than just a car company, but Tesla has so much more business within the company they could earn Tesla billions of dollars, like their AI team, full self-driving and robotics. These things are definitely not counted into Charlie's assessment of these two companies. If he really thinks BYD is a better long-term investment than Tesla, I don't think he really understands what Tesla really is, like so many others. I personally don't think this statement will age very well, but time will tell. Tesla is holding production in China to upgrade its Model 3 production line, but keep different phases of the production hidden from people working on different phases. It's all very secretive. Tesla will hold some production at its Shanghai factory until the end of February, as it upgrades the facility to start rolling out a revamped version of its Model 3 sedan in the competitive Chinese market. That plant has two phases for vehicle manufacturing, and some workers in the first phase won't be allowed on the production line from as soon as Sunday, today, as the work on improving them is undertaken, people familiar with the matter said. Tesla will halt production at its Shanghai plant until the end of February, as it upgrades the factory to be rolling out the revamped version of the Model 3 here, coincidentally at the same time of Tesla's Investor Day on the 1st of March, where I think we will hear much more about this. And if this is really the Highland Model 3 we have been speculating about, that might be half the cost for Tesla to produce, this could really give Tesla an unbelievable big advantage in China as well. As I just showed, Tesla earns about 8 times as much on their car as BYD does. So if Tesla suddenly can come in to the Chinese market with a Model 3 that costs Tesla half to produce, they will have a pricing power over the competition that has never been seen before. Even with today's prices, where Tesla has about 25% gross margin, this would be nothing compared to what Tesla does with this new Highland models, if everything turns out to be true. But Tesla does seem to be very secretive about it, with some of these people from the Phase 1 will not be allowed on the Phase 2 production line and so on, so they are definitely cooking up something exciting at the Shanghai plant. But now there is only 10 days left until we hopefully get a lot wiser on what Tesla is actually cooking behind the closed doors and what the project Highland really is. Can't wait. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. The Tesla Berlin factory plant has been put into operation. The update was made by Brandenburg Economics Minister Jörn Steinbach on Wednesday. So that is very exciting if this is the case. Still think it will be a while before they put the 4680 cells into the car production in Berlin, as I think Tesla is still prioritizing battery production in the US because of the battery incentive. But it's nice to see that the battery factory is up and running no matter what. And just remember, this is in less than a year from when they broke ground to they have production of batteries. Nice to know that they can build a whole factory, a whole battery factory, and have it up and running in less than a year. And Elon Musk might be partnering with Lena to build a residential area for employees of his company. It is called Project Awesome and will consist of 110 homes in Bastrop County. Tesla has created thousands of jobs in the Austin area. This, in turn, has led to an increase of need for more more housing for employees who flock here from all over the country. Now Elon is not only boosting the cities and states' economy, helping stabilizing the grid and giving thousands of jobs, but apparently also creating a home for his employees. And Gary shared this picture on Twitter, and I don't know if it is because I have seen the Cybertruck too much, but looking at this side by side with these other pickup trucks, is it just me, or is the Cybertruck actually the one that looks the most sleek here? Yes, the other looks very much the same, like 3 Tupperware boxes, and we could line up all the other pickup trucks and they will look pretty much the same. And to be fair, I'm not a pickup truck guy. I have never looked at a pickup truck and thought, wow, I want a pickup truck. I don't really see them as good looking cars. I am more kind of a sport car kind of guy, but seeing it next to all the other pickup truck, I think the Cybertruck is actually the least ugly here. So Gary, I would pick the Cybertruck hands down. Of course, because of all the specs, but even on its looks. And Tesla shared some video clips from Berlin, the machine that builds the machine. Nothing I haven't shown 1,000 times before, but they had a lot of nice little information to each video clip. Like the robot that lifts up the car from the body shop up to the paint shop is called Godzilla, and is one of the largest industrial robots ever. I didn't know that. And that the General Assembly shop is their biggest shop by head counts. On any given shift, 1,000 plus people are helping building out the Model Y. Yes, the machine that builds the machine that will become the best-selling car in the world. And Mary Barra has been inducted into the Automotive Hall of Fame because she led and it matters. Wow, she will definitely go down in history, that's for sure. As we can see, under her lead, GM unit sales have gone down 39% and are still shrinking. So I think we will see something historic soon with GM. And Ford is investing $3.5 billion to build a lithium iron phosphate LFP battery plant in Marshall, Michigan, it announced Monday. CATL will provide technology and service support for the production of the LFP battery plant, while Ford will be responsible for cell-to-vehicle integration. So the kind of partnership that Tesla made with Panasonic back 6 years ago, but Ford will actually own the whole thing here. So that is the difference between Tesla and Panasonic, but nice to see Ford moving closer to get some LFP batteries, while GM is stumbling around with LG and don't have any LFP factory plans as of now. But a great move from Ford. And this week it became official. EU lawmakers approved an effective 2035 ban of new fossil fuel cars. So 12 years left, guys. No matter if you hate EVs, in just 12 years you will not be able to buy a new ICE car in Europe. So let the race begin, and good luck to everyone. And as I made a whole video about this week, how Biden administration needs Tesla if they shall have any chance of reaching their target of 500,000 chargers around the country by 2030. Well, just the day after, Joe Biden did tweet about it, tagging both Elon and Tesla on Twitter. Oh boy, has the time changed from when he wouldn't even say their name. But he wrote, in building our EV charger network, we have to ensure that as many chargers work for as many drivers as possible. To that end, Elon Musk will open a big part of Tesla's network up to all drivers. That's a big deal, and it will make a big difference. It sure will, but just like here in Europe, it will be slow and steady. They will not open everything up at once, so we still have many years where Tesla still have the charging advantage over everyone else. And Ross Gerber is out saying officially that he wants to be part of Tesla's board to help Tesla to get to the next level. This will of course be up to shareholders to vote him in, but I personally think this would be a wrong move, as Ross is only very pissed at Tesla because the stock went down last year and he lost a lot of money, and he probably has a lot of angry people in his firm that lost some money as well. But that is very short-term thinking, and as Elon said many years ago, If you are not in for the long term and only short-term investor, please sell our stock. So I personally have a lot of respect for Ross and the work he does, but he is still getting caught up in all the short-term noise all the time, and I don't think we need a person like that on the board of Tesla. That is just my opinion, but Tesla Thomas made a poll on Twitter, and it seems like it is not just my opinion. It seems like more than 90% of retail investors don't want Ross on the board. And Elon tweeted, "The new CEO of Twitter is amazing. So much better than that other guy." And Tesla recalls 362,758 vehicles. Nope, they are just making an over-the-air software update. But mainstream media does need those clicks, so recall still sounds much better, but it is because full self-driving beta software can crash. Yes, the beta program has always been able to crash. That is why you need to keep an eye on it all the time, ready to take over at any minute. So really nothing to see here, big nothing burger, just mainstream media wants to get some more clicks. There was no recall. No vehicle has to be recalled. Everything was fixed with an over-the-air update. But Ram, on the other hand, made a real recall of more than 340,000 heavy-duty diesel trucks for engine fires. Again, it wasn't very long ago that Stellantis issued a recall for 280,000 new Ram heavy-duty trucks for a risk of fire. But now we have 340,000 more recalled. Not fixed with an over-the-air update. No, a real recall because of fire risk. Now that is a real problem with a real recall, costing Stellantis real money. And the rumors of the Tesla Mexico factory continues to flow as the foreign minister Marcelo Ebrard said on Tuesday, Tesla will soon announce good news in Mexico. So, what it is, I hope we will hear more about on Investor Day on the 1st of March. Seems to become a really jam-packed event they have for us, coming very soon. And Ford said it intends to cut 3,800 jobs in Europe over the next 3 years to adopt a leaner structure as it focuses on electric vehicle production. As you might know, making electric vehicles is not as labor-intense as ICE cars. They need about 30% less people working on the line for an EV compared to an ICE car. The company plans to slash 2,300 jobs in Germany, well, you know where you can go work, and then they have 1,300 jobs in the UK and 200 posts elsewhere in Europe. Ford said it employs approximately 34,000 people in Europe, so that will be about 11% of its workforce in Europe. Ford plans to get rid of over the next 3 years. And SpaceX president and COO Gwynne Shotwell said the Starlink satellite broadband internet service is on track to make profits in 2023. As she said, this year Starlink will make money. We actually had a cash flow positive quarter last year, so that's very exciting for SpaceX and their Starlink network. And Dr. Know-It-All, together with Dr. Scott Walt and Facade, had a fun little video and talk with ChatGPT this week. I will leave a link down to the video below if you want to check it out, but after a lot of tries, they finally got ChatGPT to come with a guess on the exact date the Tesla would solve full self-driving and have the first paid fare in a robotaxi. So mark the calendar. The date, the 15th of August 2025. That's the date that an AI has guessed that we will see the first robotaxi service fare happen for Tesla in Los Angeles. And we saw CarWow make a drag race with the most powerful SUVs in the world, from Porsche to Lamborghinis, but they all fell to Tesla's hardcore smackdown from the Model X Plaid. That simply destroyed them all, no matter from standstill or rolling start. Plaid is just in a league of his own. And Tesla has released a new blog post in the response to the false allegations that it terminated employees in response to a new union campaign. Nice to see Tesla starting to actually respond to some of all this FUD being spread by the mainstream media. So hopefully we will see more like this in the future. And before we end up with a bit of fun, I just wanted to make a quick shout out to my newest patrons and members of this news show. My new Patreon producers, Peter Helander, John Lynch, and Brand Sweeney. And my new YouTube members, Johnny Mintoni, and again, John Lynch. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this news show. Thank you. And a big and special thanks to Supporter of the Week. And this week's winner is, well, it of course had to be John Lynch, that has just become a double member. Thank you so much, John. I will contact you on Patreon to get your address so I can send you your Supporter of the Week t-shirt. And let's end off with a bit of fun. Not everyone is working stably towards EVs. Here is GM wobbling towards the EV future. That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos. And a big and special thanks to all my executive producers for making this news show possible. If you also want news articles every single day and more videos and much more, head over to my website bestintesla.com and check it all out.
If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to donation options in the show notes. And also as simple as hitting the super like button. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.